So, good morning and welcome to this event. It's a pleasure to be here. Unfortunately, I didn't understand a word from what was told before, but it is great to be here in this lovely city. Of course, the weather conditions may be better, but we have to take how it is. And I really look forward to have interesting discussion with you later on then in the table sessions. So, my name is Reto Scagnetti. I'm Vice President Sales, and I'm part of the DACH region in DigiCert. So DACH means Germany, Deutschland, Austria, which is Österreich, and CH, which is Confederatio Helvetica, which is Switzerland, and Eastern Europe is part of that region as well. And our goal is to more focus on Eastern Europe as well, to grow the business here as well, because we see that cybersecurity and special digital trust is a big interest, and I think there's a lot of interesting companies here to be really partner and to work with. So the topic of today will be digital trust for the real world, and what is digital trust? When we look around us, we live in a hyper-connected world. So everything is connected today. We have mobile phones, we have all the internet stuff, we have all the networks which is connected. And when we talk about digital trust, it means about the basic infrastructure. So really the baseline on how you make secure connections. When we look at those pictures, right, you look at the airplane, how can an airplane ensure that these mission critical systems are not tampered with? How can we have a hospital and we have data privacy for all the patients, but we still need to have access for caregivers on that data, and how we can make that secure? If you look at all the industry, you have IoT devices, how you can ensure that if there's an update or the next driver coming, that this driver is not tampered with. So this is really the world we talk about digital trust. DigiCert is a leader in digital trust. We have been founded in 2003, which is a long time ago, 20 years ago. And today we have about 1,700 employees worldwide, globally. Of course, we have gone through acquisitions like Verizon, Symantec, Huawei recently, and Mocana. And we have today's location in 16 countries all over the world. We have a great 74 365 follow the sun support. And when we look at our customers, which is interesting, 93% of the top financial firms and more than 80% of the Fortune 500 are working with us. And when we talk about DigiCert, it's not only about our customers, it's technology. It's very much about setting the standards for digital trust. We are driven by compliance. So compliance is really, I know compliance is not the primary and the lovely topic. Peer audit is not a part of it today, but it's so important because if we don't have standards, if we don't have compliance, we don't have security. That's really, it's the base. And we are going through more than 30 audits, so we have constant auditors in-house to really go through audits all over the world. And we put a lot of money in these standards. So we have a lot of people working in DigiCert, not working in technology, really working in compliance. They do nothing else than compliance. They drive standards. They write standards for the next generations that we really have here a front head to be part of that future standards. An interesting fact is we have a very high R&D. So we really put a lot of money in research and development. In fact, we have our cost we have for R&D is higher than our closest competitor have in revenues. So it's big money we really put in here. When we talk about digital trust, it's not something we do for digital trust itself. It's really we have goals. And the three goals, main goals with digital trust are on that slide. So the first goal is really reduce risk, which is business risk. So we all want to have that operations doesn't stop, that we don't have interrupted operations because of a certificate run out or whatever else. That's the first goal if you talk about digital trust. The second goal is really secure attack surfaces. We want to have that our network, our technology is safe for attacks. Of course, we know 100% safety is never there because you have to put so much money in. But we have to have a security level that is high enough that you're secure and you can secure operate your company. And the third part is really then, it's a top level, it's improve agility. You know, cybersecurity is a industry very fast evolving. You have new standards, you have new risk, so you need to have agility in, you know, the crypto assets you have, you know, in the different technologies you have, and if you don't have that agility, it takes too much time to really implement the next stack. So it's not only secure, it's a level on top to improve agility, which is our main vision at the end. We recently conducted surveys with our customer base on a global scale, and we have heard some interesting facts at the end, right? So an interesting fact was, for example, that about half of the customers of our customers have left our customers because of a security breach, because of security issues. So it means if you're in a company and you have a security breach or security issues, the risk that your customers will leave you is very high. And of course, you know, if you look at bigger companies, enterprises, the cost if you have a data breach, if you have security issues is high. So we talk about 10 million plus for a single security issue or a data breach. Of course, that's not valid for a smaller company, but for a larger company, security issues is really becoming a big concern. So it's really a CEO concern today. So we conducted a study. If you look at the internet, you will find it, interesting facts in there. And another thing we found out that even companies, big ones, are aware of that their network, they could quite easily be breached. And they are all a bit struggling how to implement the current standards in security to really be on a safe side. And 2/3 of our customers out of that study have been affected by software supply chain attacks. Means even if you are safe with your infrastructure, with what you do, you have to be safe that your suppliers do the right thing. So if you buy a software and this software is tampered with, you have a problem afterwards. And how to ensure that the whole software delivery chain is safe, that's next level then. And when we look at the today world, you know, 3/4 of devices which are out there are not safe. We know that. So of course we are talking about, you know, Windows systems which are outdated, operating system, but we are talking about devices, IoT devices, smart home, even if you go to infrastructure, energy, whatever, we know those devices are not safe today. So we really have to work on those, that we can have a safe infrastructure, because, you know, the whole society, the country is building on that level. So these are really the base infrastructure we need to secure. And, you know, it is complex, we are aware of that, and it will be more complex in future. So a big thing we see as well is, you know, quantum computing. I know there's a lot of stories about quantum, and we all agree it's not yet. We know there are a lot of research done in quantum, it's getting better, and we know that the today's algorithm won't be safe once quantum computing is really here. So we know that. And a lot of companies say it's not yet, so we don't have to take actions right now, which is totally wrong, because the big problem is store now, decrypt later. So if you have now a document which is encrypted today, and this document will be saved from a bad actor, maybe in 5 years they can decrypt it. So it's not only about, you know, privacy, it's not only about, you know, company security, it's about nations. So if we're talking about really high security stuff from nations, and if these documents are now really spread out and somebody can save that and decrypt later, you know, we can see what the impact will be. So we better be prepared for quantum right now. So we have to have a plan on how we do it. I don't go into details here because this would be a total different, I know, an interesting topic, but I don't think it's the first priority at no. But I think it's important to see that and to go in a direction where we are prepared about, you know, what's coming next. When we look at companies, our customers, and talk about all the different departments, you know, we see infrastructure, identity access management, SecOps, IoT, everybody, every department is affected. And all these questions about cybersecurity are so high. And we all talk about digital trust, and we see all are struggling. It's not only infrastructure, it's not only identity access management, all are a bit struggling and how to do in future. And if you go back about and look at the IT industry, and look what has been done in the last 10 years, and we do go 10 years ahead, it will be much more complex than today. We know it, because there are so many things coming up. Post-quantum is one topic. AI, artificial intelligence, is another one. We have IoT devices spread out. We know the world in 5 years will be much more complex than today. And we even struggle to be secure today. So it is important to really bring cybersecurity, digital trust to the next level. And that's exactly the mission of DigiCert. We are really heading towards that. And the question is a bit, if you have a company today, maybe you have a team of 30 team members of cybersecurity, right? And they're dealing with the two-day threat. How big the team must be in 5 years or in 10 years? And where do you get all these specialists? We see it as well. We have problems to hire enough people. So the specialists about cybersecurity, infrastructure specialists, and all the companies have the same problem. And if you look at the management, how a CTO or CIO today can ensure his company runs on a secure layer. It's really complex. And is it the best way to really hire more people? And we have conducted surveys with our companies. They say they have about 10 to 20 different suppliers for cybersecurity. They have to manage them, all of them, right? And you have a problem with one, you have to exchange the next one, and then it goes on. And maybe in 20 years or 10 years, you have 50. So I think, or we think, it's not the best way to go with the decentralized structure. We really think it's better to have a system, a model, a platform in place where you can handle all these different challenges. And that's what we as DigiCert are, what our vision is, basically. So we really provide a comprehensive digital trust building blocks. Means you don't have to say, I take everything from DigiCert, but you have an urgent need maybe in area 1, which is identity access management or enterprise PKI. Or maybe you really wanted to use things about digital signatures. Or maybe IoT is a top topic today. Then you just start with one building block and then go along. And if you have a next need, then you take the next building block. So our approach is to really have a base system, which is called DigiCert 1 on our case, which has different use cases we will talk about later on. And the idea is to secure all the crypto assets you have. So basically, it's not that many. We are always talking about user credentials, right? So that's a thing. We're talking about service machines in your environment, talking about, mobile devices and every device you have. We are talking about email, which is a bit a separate case, software, which is code, which is scripts, which is everything you need to run your environments. And at the end, we talk about documents. So this is really the crypto assets. You have really to secure those things when it comes to a level down. And we have solutions for all of them. And our idea is really to make it easy. So security made easy, that's our aim. We know it's not, we are not there, so we still have a long way to go. But what we already have, what we hear from our customers, we are on a good way. And I think that's really the way to go forward. And maybe again, I talked about compliance, right? And when we talk about security, it's not only about technology. Of course, we need technology. But much more interesting and important is compliance. We need to have processes in place. We need to have rules in place, and we have to adhere those rules. We often see companies, they have their own internal PKI, which is great. They have HSM. Everything on a technical level is great, but they don't have rules. They don't have processes. And so you cannot have security if you don't have properly implemented rules and processes. And I think it is so important to really have that one, which goes along with technology. So you need technology, you need processes, you need a compliance rule, and then you're on a safe side. And that's exactly what we provide to our customers, and that's the reason why our customers come to us, that they know it's not only technology, it's the whole stack we can provide. We have When it goes to a deep level, we have templates for every type of certificates, and you know that's a long history and it's long experience, and you need experts to really exactly know and how you do that. On the next slide, you know, there's some reasons why customers really work with us. I don't want to into detail. You can read yourself, and of course, we will make the presentation available to you afterwards. And of course, you know, today we only talk about on high level. We have the time afterwards on tables there to go a bit more in detail. And if there's really the need, then of course we can then get more PKI experts really to go in very details, because when we look at our company, we have the biggest share of PKI experts worldwide. So we have that many specialists. Of course, a lot are kind of nerds. You know, it's not that easy to talk with them because they're really deep in technical side. But I think there's almost no topic we cannot talk about in our company when it comes to PKI, when it comes to cryptography, when it comes to cybersecurity. That's really what I love to work here in the company. We really know what we do, and I think it's the right way we go forward. With that, I hand over to Scholt. He will then be take the local language again to really go a bit more in detail on our services. And I will have a second part then later on and talk about some use cases in the next step.